How's it going, guys? So, how hard is it to become fit and healthy? The answer to that question is completely up to you. Now, what I want to do, if you're someone who wants to lose weight and you've got a lot of weight to lose, and you're trying to lose weight so you can be happy, healthy, and more confident for the rest of your life, this video is going to be perfect for you because I'm going to talk about when people should find it hard and why they should find it hard, and when people find it easy and when they should find it easy. All right, and I'm going to talk about the ins and the outs. I'm also going to talk about why you probably find it too hard and and you probably learn where you're going wrong. Okay, so to start off with, this is going to be broken into two parts. Well, it's not two parts. There's two parts to it. There's the appearance side, so the way you look, your size, your weight, and then there's the physical part, so your fitness levels. So depending on what fitness levels you've got now into where you want to get to. All right. So let's talk about the people who should find it hard and why they should find it hard. And it all determines on the purpose behind why they're trying to lose weight or why they're trying to become fit, right? Now for these people, it could be because they have a wedding to attend to, they've got a holiday that's coming up in a very short time, or it could be a physical event. So that's the appearance we're talking about. The physical event could be they signed up to a half marathon and they want to be able to run a half marathon in a certain amount of time, or 10k or 5k, it doesn't really matter what it is, or it could be a weightlifting competition, so they have to lift a certain amount of weight, or they're trying to lift a certain amount of weight and they've got a deadline to when they're going to be tested for that, or it could be a triathlon, many different things. Now, when these people have a short space of time, they have to do things to an extreme level to be able to achieve what they're trying to achieve. For example, if they have weight and they're trying to lose 2 dress sizes within a month or 2 months, then they're going to have to increase their fitness level. They're going to have to really hone in on their nutrition. They'll have to cut out processed food, alcohol, treats, if they want to make sure they achieve what they want to achieve in that short space of time. Now, which is good, and there's a good purpose. But when they finish that, when they hit their goal, their target, their wedding, their holiday, what they've done prior would probably be much more relaxed. So they won't work out as hard, they won't be as conscious with their nutrition, so they'll probably introduce alcohol back into their lives, they'll introduce more bad nutrition, if we say, for more treats. Their fitness level, they probably won't exercise as much because they've hit their goal and now they can slightly relax, which is cool because they've done it for a purpose and that purpose suited them and they hit that purpose. A good example is slightly different. If we look at Mike Tyson, unbelievable athlete, when he was at his peak, his physique was phenomenal, his fitness level was through the roof. But for him to achieve that, and if you can listen to any interviews that he talks about the way he trained before, was ridiculous. Like he would train like relentlessly. His nutrition used to be relentless. His mindset was relentless. The things that he used to do was relentless because he was trying to be at peak performance with it. His appearance wasn't what he was after. It was the performance he was after because he was training for a performance. His appearance looked amazing. But as soon as he stopped it, he started relaxing. Start putting on the pounds because he no longer needed to be in the ring. Obviously, he's kept the level of fitness, but he doesn't no longer need to train in that intensity, or he doesn't need to focus on his nutrition with that intensity. So it completely drops. So when people has a purpose to that extreme, their focus are greater. All right. Now, if you're someone who your purpose is a lifestyle change, and you want to train so you're happy, healthy, and more confident for the rest of your life, you are in the most luckiest position, believe it or not. And you're thinking, no, I'm not. I'm overweight. I want to lose weight now. The reason what you've got against you is your patience, is the ability to be able to grow the patience. Because when people are in this position, they want the results like the people over here. So when they see people lose weight within a couple of months because they've done it for a wedding, they want the same results. When they want to be able to go from no fitness to a very high level of fitness within a couple of months. So they do things that the people over here, very extreme, very intensely, so they try and do this. They want this, but their mind. So, and there's a problem to this because there's something what a body develops is called a metabolic compensation, and it's a weight default. And what I mean by weight default is when you're at a certain weight, the longer you're at that weight, the harder it is to get away from it. And let me give you an example. Let's say you're 20 stone, which is 280 pounds, okay? And you're trying to lose weight. Every time you try and lose weight, the quicker you lose weight, the quicker you're getting away from that metabolic compensation, which is your weight default, which is your default here. And a weight default is where your body's the most comfortablest. So as you lose weight, your body has, like, you want to call it, well, like rubber bands, should we say, and they're attached to the back of you, okay? So every time you're trying to go away, your body is trying its hardest, and your mind, to get back to where it's comfortable. That if you go away really fast, like so, let's say you lose 5 stone, which is 70 pounds, in a very short space of time, your body's trying its hardest to go back to where it is, okay? If you do it in a nice gradual way, you'll lose weight, your metabolic compensation will change. You lose weight, your metabolic compensation will change. You lose weight, your metabolic compensation will change, and like so. If you do it really quickly, it goes like this. It puts a lot of stress on the mind and the body, and the mind will try everything it can to get back to where it's most comfortable and where the body's used to be in, okay? So when people train intensely, extremely, like this over here, they're getting away from the metabolic compensation. And that's why you'll see a lot of people who will lose like 4 stone or 5 stone, which is 70 pounds or up, and they lose it in a very short space of time. And then, with a year or so, they end up going backwards. Because a couple of things, they don't have a structure in place, they don't continue doing what they should be doing, but if they do it in a better way and a more reasonable way, they can allow the metabolic compensation to change as you're changing. So as you losing weight and you become fit and healthier, so does your metabolic compensation. It changes with you. So when you change, it becomes a lifestyle change, and it changes forever. And to be able to achieve that, it takes patience, because what people need to adopt is they have to understand, if you're trying to achieve life-changing results, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time to achieve life-changing results. But when you try and achieve it overnight, then that's what's going to happen. And there's things out there, and I'll give it an example. And I'll just say there's you'll do things and it's very extreme, which is probably the bad route to go down. One example is something called a Cambridge diet. Now, I'm not completely against the Cambridge diet, because they have helped people do amazing things, and it serves a purpose for certain times. But for a lot of people, Cambridge diet is a very hard diet to be able to stick to, because you go from poor nutrition, or someone who's on a poor nutrition, to a very low level of calories and into a good nutrition. And it's so hard on the mind, and it's so hard on the body. Yeah, you'll lose weight. You lose quite a lot of weight within a short space of time. But as soon as you stop, it's so hard to continue that journey. And very quickly you go back to your old lifestyle. A bit like over here. As soon as someone's got to their wedding, they open up the floodgates. They introduce alcohol. They introduce more poor nutrition. And it's hard to continue that intensity of training to be able to get to that level. Now, how do you find it easy, and why should you find it easy? And let's break it down, okay? We'll talk about the fitness side first. So if you're on a very poor level of fitness, health fitness, the first thing you need to do is try and enjoy fitness. So if you can't walk a mile and you're trying to be able to run a marathon within 6 weeks, it's too much of a disconnect. It's going to be too hard for you. You might be able to achieve it, but there's so much stress on the mind, there's so much stress on the body, you're pushing custard uphill, and it will be a very unenjoyable journey. Whereas if it's a lifestyle change, you can start from a very easy level. And the first thing you can start off is just by walking. And that is your only exercising that you're going to do for, it depends on how unfit you are. You could do it for 4 weeks, you could do it for 8 weeks, you could even do it for 12 weeks. And that is all you do. Something so simple and easy on your mind and on your body. You get your body used to exercising, you enjoying exercising, and then over time you can slowly increase it. So you go from walking to jogging, and then jogging to running, and it could be a very long time that you do this over. It doesn't just have to be running, it could be anything. It could be weightlifting, it could be learning to do judo, it could be learning to do boxing, it could be learning to do all sorts of things. All right, so I'm just using running as an example. So and nutrition is the exact same. If you've gone for a very poor level of nutrition, and you need, for you to be able to change, you need to have a healthy level of nutrition. If you go from a poor nutrition to a strict nutrition, too hard on the mind, a bit like the Cambridge diet, too hard on the body, very quickly going to go backwards. So the first protocol is do something that's very hard, easy on the mind, easy on the body, transition from an unhealthy diet to a good diet, allow your body to get used to the good diet, enjoy the good nutrition, utilize nutrition, get your body used to the nutrition, which will help you lose weight anyway, or get fit and healthier. And then as you're used to it, then you can start, ramping it up and start tightening the bolts with the nutrition. That's when you can start probably calorie counting and really start focusing on what you need to do to be able to achieve the levels. However, if you're real good with the fitness side and you're really increasing your fitness performance, you won't really actually need to count the calories, because if your fitness levels is constantly increasing and you're controlling your nutrition and you have a good nutrition method in place, and you're not just eating it when and how, but you've got a structure in place, you don't actually have to count the calories. I kind of contradict myself, because sometimes if you're doing good physical exercising and you're not changing, then you're going to have to focus on like why you're not changing, and that might be like because you're somewhat guessing your calorie intake, you might have to then like focus on counting calories. But if you're always getting results and your fitness levels improving, then you might find the method of the nutrition that you're doing is working very well compared to your physical performance. So you're always going to see a result. Now, I'll give you an example. So the training I'm doing. So my goal is for me to be able to run 10K in 45 minutes, right? I have no time frame. I just want to do it. I'm just in a position where I've got nothing to train for, so I'm just maintaining it, and I just want to focus. I want to get myself back into running. And my training is unbelievably enjoyable, so enjoyable. So, bit of a truth, years ago, I used to be able to run like the wind. I could run like no tomorrow, like very fast. And then as life goes on, fitness levels go down, and my running fitness level went completely down. And about the beginning of this year, I started getting back into running, and it was hard, like really, really hard. Like I used to be someone who could wake up and do 10 miles, not a problem, easy peasy. Beginning of this year, being able to run a mile was like pushing custard uphill. It was very hard, so I've done it in a very good structure. And now, because I've just been so consistent with it, my running is very enjoyable, and it's so simple, and I haven't really pushed myself too much. I've just wanted to be able to enjoy it, but making sure I'm improving. And my structure is, and I'll tell you how it is, so you can probably do it yourself. 3 days a week I do my running, and 2 days a week I do strength conditioning, and then the other 2 I rest. So Monday, Wednesday and Friday is when I do my run and I have a structure. On a Monday I have a long run. The reason why I have a long run is to increase my endurance, but I'm going to come on to how I was able to run for a long period of time. The second day, on a Wednesday, is my speed training. So that's probably the hardest session of the week, and that is quite hard, but that's the only hard one. And then Friday is a time run or whatever I want. So it's a bit of a fun day for me. So the Monday, when I learned to increase my endurance, so what I've done, there's a saying, train hard and you fight, train hard, fight easy, but you can also do that in a very clever way. So I want to be able to run 10K in 45 minutes, which is 6 miles. So 1 week, I always run a lot further than what I need to run. So I do like 10 mile run, 8 mile run, 9 mile run, so quite a far run. However, the way I do it is very simple. So when I first started this, I've done 10 miles a few weeks back, and I can't run 10 miles consistently at the moment. But when I first started, all I'd do, I'd pick the point and destination what I could see, and I'd run to it. And then I'd walk, and I'd pick a point to where I could see, and I'd walk to it. And I'd just do it like that. Pick a point, run, pick a point, walk. So it was very little intervals. So I was running probably like 200, 300 meters, and then I was walking about 200, 300, 400 meters. And then I'd just repeat that for the whole 10 miles, okay? And it was so simple in the mind, on the body, and it was no problem. As the weeks progress, it gets harder. So I change from point and destination to be able to run 500 meters, walk 500 meters, run 500 meters, walk 500 meters, and that continued. And now I'm doing, last week I done 2 miles, run 2 miles, walked a mile, run 2 miles, walked a mile. And this week, yesterday, I ran 2.5 miles, walked a mile, ran a mile, walked a mile, ran 2.5 miles, and then now it's pretty much done. But do you see how the increase is so slightly, is next to unnoticeable, but it helps me increase my endurance very comfortably, and the running is becoming so enjoyable. Wednesday is a hard run, it's a speed run, which is a difficult one, and it's probably the only one I wake up to and I'm like, oh God, because there's got to be one little bit hard one. But apart from that, because everything else is so comfortable, so enjoyable, the increase my health and fitness level is a breeze. And my clients, they're pretty much the same. I take them through structure where it's quite simple and easy on the mind, and there are points where I push them. So there are a couple of stages where they are getting pushed out of their comfort zone, but I thank me for it. But the majority of it, the nutrition's good, easy, go from poor nutrition to good nutrition, from the fitness, from a poor level of health and fitness to a good level of health and fitness in a very simple transition. Okay, so I hope that helps. So if you're someone who's trying to look healthy or trying to become fitter, healthier, happier, more confident for the rest of your life, your journey shouldn't be that hard. All you need to require and learn to build is patience. Stop trying to get it like the people do, overnight, and you want it yesterday, and you're trying to train the same as people who are trying to achieve a wedding, or a holiday, and learn to start doing things where it's going to be a lifestyle change, and you're going to be able to sustain it, and it's going to be easy on the mind and the body, and you look forward to it. Just grow the patience, and everything else will help and follow along. Apart from that, if you want to help with health and fitness, especially weight loss, get in touch, send me an email. I'll put a link or something like that, and I'll be happy to discuss how I might be able to help you. Have a great day.